Hi, we shall now discuss on the primary axis formation in Drosophila, and it includes anterior posterior patterning, dorsal ventral patterning, and generation of this dorsal ventral pattern in the embryo. As we all know, the process of embryogenesis, it may officially begin at fertilization, but many of the molecular events critical for Drosophila embryogenesis actually occur during oogenesis. And each oocyte is a descendant from a single female germ cell called the oogonium, which is surrounded by an epithelium of follicle cells. And before oogenesis begins, the oogonium it divides 4 times with incomplete cytokinesis, giving rise to 16 interconnected cells, which include 15 interconnected nerve cells and a single oocyte precursor. And these 16 cells constitute the egg chamber in which the oocyte will develop. And the oocyte will be the cell at the posterior end of the egg chamber. As the oocyte precursor develops, numerous mRNAs in the nerve cells are transported on microtubules through the interconnections into the enlarging oocyte. And going to the anterior posterior patterning in detail, the follicular epithelium surrounding the developing oocyte is initially uniform with respect to the cell fate, but its uniformity is broken by 2 signals organized by the oocyte nucleus. And interestingly, both of these signals involve the same gene called Gherkin. And this Gherkin message, it appears to be synthesized in the nerve cells and becomes transported to the oocyte nucleus via the microtubules. And here it is localized between the nucleus and the cell membrane, and it is translated into the Gherkin protein. And this Gherkin protein is shown as in green color here. At this time, the oocyte nucleus is very near to the posterior tip of the egg chamber, and the Gherkin signal it is received by the follicle cells at the position through a receptor protein encoded by the torpedo gene. And this signal, that is the reception of this Gherkin protein by the torpedo receptor, results in the posteriorization of these follicle cells. And when Gherkin binds to the torpedo, the terminal follicle cells get differentiated into posterior follicle cells, and they synthesize a molecule that activates protein kinase A in the cell. And the protein kinase A, it orients the microtubules in such a way that the growing end is at the posterior tip. That's the plus end faces towards the posterior region of the egg chamber. And this posterior follicle cells sends a signal back into the oocyte, whose identity is not yet known, but it recruits a protein called PAR1 to the posterior edge of the oocyte cytoplasm. And this PAR1 protein, it organizes these microtubules specifically with a minus cap and the plus growing end at the anterior and posterior end of the oocyte respectively. That is, the minus end faces towards the anterior side and the plus end or the growing end faces towards the posterior end. And this PAR1 protein localizes to the cortical cytoplasm of the nerve cells and to the posterior pole of the oocyte. The bicoid message then binds to a motor protein called dynein associated with the non-growing end of the microtubules. This dynein moves the bicoid message to the anterior end of the egg. This red colored structure is the bicoid mRNA. It is translocated towards the anterior end or towards the minus end along the microtubules. And the next one is the OSCAR message. It becomes complex to another motor protein called kinesin 1, and it moves towards the growing end of the microtubules, that is towards the plus end at the posterior region, where it then binds to the nanos mRNA. And orientation of these microtubules is very much critical because different microtubule motor proteins will transport the mRNA or protein cargos in different directions. And the posterior pole will thereby have its own distinctive cytoplasm called pole plasm, which contains the determinants for producing the abdomen and the germ cells. And this cytoskeletal rearrangement in the oocyte is accelerated by an increase in the oocyte volume owing to the transfer of the cytoplasmic components from the nerve cells. That is, these components include the maternal messengers such as bicoid mRNAs and nanose mRNAs, which are transported by the motor proteins along the microtubules towards the anterior end and the posterior end of the oocyte respectively. And as the oocyte volume increases, the oocyte nucleus moves to an anterior dorsal position where a second major signaling event takes place. And the Gherkin message, it becomes localized in a crescent between the oocyte nucleus and the oocyte cell membrane, and its protein product forms an anterior-posterior gradient along the dorsal surface of the oocyte. Since it can diffuse only a short distance, Gherkin protein reaches only those follicle cells closest to the oocyte nucleus, and it signals those cells to become the more columnar dorsal follicle cells. That is, the cells which are most closely to the nucleus can only receive this Gherkin protein, and only those cells become the dorsal follicle cells. And thus it establishes a dorsal ventral polarity in the follicle cell layer that surrounds the growing oocyte. And when maternal deficiencies of this either the Gherkin or the torpedo gene, it can result in the ventralization of the embryo. However, Gherkin, it is active only in the oocyte, whereas torpedo is active only in the somatic follicle cells. And unlike Gherkin, the torpedo protein is needed only in the follicle cells and not in the egg itself. And this Gherkin torpedo signal that specifies the dorsal follicle cells initiates a cascade of gene activities that create the dorsal ventral axis of the embryo. And next we will go into detail about this cascade of gene activities. And the activated torpedo receptor protein, it inhibits the expression of pipe gene. As a result, the pipe protein is made only in the ventral follicle cells. See the nucleus here, which secretes the Gherkin mRNA, and this Gherkin mRNA gets translated into the Gherkin protein, which is received by the torpedo receptor on the dorsal follicular cells. And once this torpedo receptors binds to the Gherkin protein, it gets activated, and then it inhibits the transcription of another gene called pipe gene, so that the pipe gene products of the pipe gene is inhibited only in the dorsal follicular cells, whereas in the ventral follicular cells there is active synthesis of the pipe protein. This pipe then activates the nodal protein, which is secreted into the cell membrane of the neighboring ventral embryonic cells. And a few hours later, the activated nodal protein, it initiates the activation of 3 serine proteases that are secreted into the perivitelline fluid. And these proteases are the products of the gastrulation defective, SNAKE, and Easter genes. Like most extracellular proteases, these molecules are secreted in an inactive form and are subsequently activated by peptide cleavage. This activated nodal protein then activates the gastrulation defective protease, that is the GD protease. It then cleaves the SNAKE protein, which activating the SNAKE protease, which in turn cleaves the Easter protein. And this cleavage activates the Easter protease, which then cleaves the spacel protein. This is a cascade of events taking place in cleaving the 3 serine proteases. And it is also important that cleavage of these proteases, 3 proteases, are limited in the most ventral portion of the embryo. The cleaved spacel protein is now available to bind to its receptors in the oocyte cell membrane, which is the product of the TOL gene. And this TOL gene product, called the TOL protein, is a maternal product that is evenly distributed throughout the cell membrane of the egg, but it becomes activated only by binding of the spacel protein, which is produced only on the ventral side of the egg. Therefore, Toll receptors on the ventral side of the egg are transducing a signal into the egg, while the Toll receptors on the dorsal side of the egg are not transducing any signals. This localized activation establishes a dorsal ventral polarity of the oocyte. And who is the ventral morphogen, or which is the ventral morphogen? It is the dorsal protein. The protein that distinguishes the dorsum or back from the ventrum or the belly in the embryo is the protein product of the dorsal gene. And the mRNA transcript of this maternal dorsal gene is placed in the oocyte by the nerve cells. While dorsal protein is found throughout the syncytial blastodome of the early Drosophila embryo, it is translocated into the nuclei only in ventral part of the embryo. That's in the nucleus. This dorsal protein acts as a transcription factor binding to certain genes to activate or repress their transcription. That is, if the dorsal protein does not enter the nucleus, the genes responsible for specifying ventral cell types are not transcribed, and thus the genes responsible for specifying dorsal cell types are not repressed, and thus all the cells of the embryo become specified as dorsal cells. That is, only if the dorsal protein are able to enter into the nucleus of the ventral follicular cells, then only those cells become ventralized. And so, how does this dorsal protein enter into the nuclei of the ventral cells? That is, when the dorsal protein is first produced, it is complexed with the protein called cactus in the cytoplasm of the syncytial blastodome. And as long as the cactus is bound to it, this dorsal protein remains in the cytoplasm itself. This dorsal protein can enter the ventral nuclei in response to a signaling pathway that frees it from cactus. That is, only if it is freed from the cactus protein, it can enter into the nucleus of the ventral cells. This separation of the dorsal from the cactus is initiated by ventral activation of the Toll receptor. And when SPACIL binds to and activates the Toll protein, the Toll activates a protein kinase called PEL. And another protein called TUE, it is probably necessary for bringing the PEL to the cell membrane where it can be activated. The activated PEL protein kinase can phosphorylate the cactus. And once this cactus is phosphorylated, it gets degraded and the dorsal becomes free and it can enter the nucleus. Since the Toll is activated by a gradient of SPACIL protein that is high in the most ventral region, there is a corresponding gradient of dorsal translocation in the ventral cells of the embryo with highest concentration of dorsal protein in the most ventral cell nuclei. Thank you.